Hi everyone, and thank you so much. I was really nervous to see what your response was going to be as to whether you liked the box, and I didn't have to worry, did I? Because you're all amazing, as you have been continually. And I'm very sorry to everyone who is outside the UK. It's something I didn't realise until it was way too late, and something that I will have to readjust next time, because I don't just talk to people in the UK, and that just doesn't work for me. So a lesson learned, right? You live and learn. So I'm very sorry, and moving forward, we'll try and do better at that. So this is the Monday after the weekend, or Thursday it launched. So I don't actually know whether it's been a success yet. I hope so. But I wanted to read your comments over the weekend to see what you wanted me to do. And as I suspected, please can we have some more looks from the palette? Absolutely can. So I thought this film would be 3 looks using this palette, and you also have the kind of sparkly aubergine lilac-y look that I did in last week's film. So I'm going to start off with a kind of like professional back to school grey look. I've just put a neutral top on just to kind of work with all the looks that we're going to do. But I love this matte grey with this kind of aesthetic that I like, kind of like glossy skin and sort of fresh cheeks, and this kind of matte grey works very well. In fact, I did I think it was an Insta Live, and someone said, oh, please tell me how to do that grey eye. So we're going to start with the grey eye, then we're going to go in with a bit of a bronzy look, and I'm going to use this. This is the only metallic shade mixed with the darkest shade here, and combine those together. And then we'll finish it off with the kind of peachy tones, because someone said, how do I make these work? Because they never really, probably these two maybe, look great on me, and it's such a nice tone to use kind of coming into spring. So yeah, let's make a start. So what I'll do is I'll do the eye, then I'll take it off and I'll do the next one. So I've just kind of got my basics on, my base, brows. I haven't got mascara on. I put mascara on there with you. I have gone back to Honest Beauty again. I know I've banged on and on about this mascara for so long, but we're going to go back to it today just for this look. Excuse me, desperate for a bit of a coffee shop. Okay, so let's start. I'm going to put a little bit of powder, just the Laura Mercier translucent powder. Could be any powder. It's not specific, just over my eyelids, because I did my base about 20 minutes ago as I was then sorting everything out to get filming, and had a little bit of grease on. Now I put, just as a little tip here, this is a nice fluffy brush, right? Which is great for dancing a nice light powder over your eyes. This would be rubbish for putting on the eyeshadow that I'm going to do now, because it's not dense enough. So I'm going to use a double-ended Beauty Pie one. I'm not sure if this is an eyeshadow one or a concealer one. It's called Base Blend Eyeshadow. It's an eyeshadow one. I think it came with a special edition. And the reason that these are different is this kind of creates a nice soft fluffy application, so not densely powdered, whereas this will really help me get my eyeshadow packed on. Now, if you have very hooded eyes, take this grey colour underneath and on the outside, and if you've got eyes similar to mine, just take it onto the lid and sweep it up. Now obviously my eyes can be hooded, they're becoming hooded with age, so it's slightly different if you've got an Asian eye or a small eye or a heavier lid, and in which case you can still apply it but just use the colour underneath. So let's go straight in. Just dab that off. I always start in the centre, because that's where I want to kind of graduate the colour to. If you start heavier on the centre and then use the tip of the brush to kind of go into the corner, you won't end up with such a lot of powder in one spot and then have to blend. So it just kind of gives you a little bit of space. I'm going to have to let go of my lovely palette and lift up my eye just so that I don't get it going over the top of my creases and then I get it all patchy. And then I turn the brush around and then just go into the socket like that. Now just like that looks very hard and not that soft and pretty. So what you have to do is make sure that you just blend, 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 making sure that line just close to your, just going to dip in again to use that there, just to kind of get into the nooks and crannies of my lashes, that when you look straight forward, you get that eyeshadow right in there. Now, with the rest, keeping my eye line here so the shadow doesn't go any further than there, and it's so easy to dip that shadow down, just to kind of create a lift. So you're almost just doing like a half arc. Now that's really good coverage for me, but again, it's too hard. So I'll go back in with my soft Mykitco brush. It's a 1.12, and then really firmly, because you can see how firmly I'm pushing the brush, because then it starts to feather out. And you can see in an instant how much better that looks. And it's really about that, kind of keeping that softness and diffuse finish so that it always is heavier on the lid and then goes slightly more diffuse. And if your lid is much more down like this, you want to counteract that whole eye being a lighter shade. So just bring and extend that colour right up there so it just looks different to the rest of your complexion, and that will give you more focus around your eye. And it doesn't have to be heavy, it can be super, super soft. But I really love this, just soft grey finish. Once I've blended, I might go in again and just push either with a cotton bud, you know how much I love a cotton bud, or just the soft powder that I've used, because I want to make that even stronger, which means that that looks even softer. Otherwise it can be a little bit wishy-washy. You can see how quickly these shadows go on and how soft and easy that is. Now once I've got the mascara on, and for this look I'm actually going to be using the mascara on the top, because I want it to be kind of quite a professional sort of corporate finish. It's just a tidy makeup, but I love the juxtaposition of the matte eyeshadow and the kind of sheenier skin. I wonder whether I should just do the other eye in a different shape. Oh, let me just save time. Let me just do the mascara on here. Maybe we'll use different mascaras too. So this is kind of like a classic look. So, I want to ask you questions now. Should I finish on the bronzy look or should I finish on the more corally look? I'll finish on the corally look. This is the primer. Now, if you like separated, long, elongated lashes, this is the mascara for you. But you do have to wait the desired 30 seconds for it to completely live or work its full potential, should I say, because many a time I've done that and I've just gone on quickly to shove it on because I'm in a rush, and it hasn't worked. This is the Monika Blunder. This is the 3.5. Really, really love these products because I do like finger painting in terms of makeup. It's probably a bit yellow actually. Let's just go for a bit lighter and mix that together because that's my highlight. Yeah, that's a better shade for me there. Picked up the wrong one. That's one. And that's nice because it's just slightly lighter than my base. And if you just kind of make that sort of nice shape across there, and that, just where you put your highlight really, just along there, that nice horizontal line that really helps to kind of elevate your face. Let's go in with the mascara. So start from the base, see how great that is. I must say I've had this for a while. I've had this probably for over a year if I'm really honest. I mean, why would I lie? But it's not crumbling. I don't know any other mascara like this one. I absolutely love it. Okay, so let's do half face. Let's just, you're with me. You've seen me do my makeup lots of times. Let me do a little bit of powder just here. So we're working on this side of my face, then you can see the difference anyway. Because this is heavier, even though it's top, it's kind of lifting anyway, I will go in and I will use the Daniel Sandler Soft Pink, because I want to, if I go in with a kind of contour and a grey eye, it then becomes hard and a little bit cold. So just to kind of get the balance, I will go in a little bit with a prettier, sort of softer, more feminine colour. I know so many of you have really enjoyed using this, and if you saw my Instagram live with Daniel himself, he did like a whole watercolour makeup on his own face, which so nice if you like that kind of translucency. And like I said in the live, as a makeup artist, you like to add colour to people's faces, but you still want to sort of have the translucency so that you can see what you're doing. So that is what I would do with this kind of makeup, just to add that little bit of a lift, to really go and bring out the fullness of my cheeks. And for the lips, no, that's way too pink on the lips. And actually there are other ones, there are other watercolours that are matte, whereas this has got a little bit of glow in it, which you know I love, and I wouldn't work that on my lips. I did take a colour out actually for my lips. Where's that gone? Of course that's gone off on its own little trip. Anyway, I would have probably gone for more of a nudie colour. Well, yes, that's what I wanted to show you, the new Sensai refillable lipsticks. So lovely. This is the shade 1761. So you just pop it in and then you can change your colours and you have it in your applicator. Yes, nice. What I was thinking in my head then is I do have another one that I was going to do slightly more pink. Let me try that on my top lip. That's better. Yeah, the top lip's better. So this actually is shade 1761. That was the original one I was going to use, wasn't it? It's Monday! These are called contouring lipsticks. And again, just because this brand, this lovely Japanese brand, is all about texture. And it's just great that you can buy the lipsticks and then put them in your refill, whichever one you're using that day. Saves on money, saves on packaging. So that would be my look. Nice and soft, but kind of gives me a little bit of a power structure around the eye. Okay, so let's take that off. One moment. I'm going to stretch back, get some cotton wool, and I'll come back to you. Oh, I'm such a Burke. Just taking it off. I wasn't going to do that, was I? Okay, so change of plan, guys. Keep up with me. I'm going to just take this off. I'm just using my Avène cleanser, which I love to take my makeup off in between looks, so it's nice and gentle. Now, while that mascara is still a little bit wet with the micellar water, I'm going to just brush through so that I don't get, nothing worse is it than when you start trying to fix your mascara and then it starts getting a little cloggy. Right, that's fine. Okay, so I go in with my Monika Blunder because that's nice and easy to use, and just sort of perfect my eye. Don't really want to waste your time, so I'll just get on with this and come back to you. Right, I just put that on with my finger, and yeah, I've got rather cheery, childlike eyeshadow on today. Nail varnish on today, haven't I? Don't know why. I just felt like I needed two colours. One's never enough. Right, I just put a little bit of custard on my lid and then blend it out. This is a Revolution brush. And again, because it's short and stubby, if you're using a thicker product like the Monika Blunder, it's really great because it spreads it quite quickly. Right, let's just lift that lash again. So we'll do the bronze and we'll do the corally colour, which actually has really worked out quite well because I'll do a nice bronzy skin to complement that. Okay, so let's go in with these. Oh, this is a lovely brush, by the way. Otis Battersby. He does luxury vegan suitcases and travelwear. He's just gone into brushes. Really like the short, stubby feel of these brushes, and they're really nice kind of like pinky flesh tone at the end. Anyway, the brushes are super lovely. So let me just warm up the skin with the Giorgio Armani bronzer, which, as you can see, has been well loved and used. And my shade is number 7. They do quite a few. This is the Luminous Silk. I love it because it's got this kind of very soft dimensional glow to it. And as you can see, just lightly dusting that over my skin is allowing it to spread very, very gently without it sort of being stuck just on my cheekbones where I put it. So that instantly kind of adds a warmth. And don't we just love a nice cream jumper and a nice sort of warm tan skin? I really hope you like the James Reed tans. If you want to meet him, Sorry, I'm speaking too quickly. I hope you like the James Reed Gradual Tan. If you'd like to meet him and Daniel, they are on my Instagram. I did a live with them both just to say thank you. Okay, so let's start with the peachy colour first. I've got clean brushes, so I'm going to start with a slightly bigger brush, and I'll go in with a very light sort of apricot colour first. And I'm going to use that as a base all over, so you can be quite merry with your application, don't need to be too precise. And you'll find that this is really nice on a pale skin too. The thing is, when you're doing like peachy makeups, you need to make sure you can take all the red out in your skin. So none of these looks really work unless you've really sorted out your complexion. Now, here is the beautiful burnt orange colour. Now I'm going to take it out just on the side of my eye here and blend it round. So it just kind of creates that lovely kind of like sunset finish across the lid, and because they're so soft they just blend into each other very lightly, so you always see the lighter shade there and blend that across. And you want to almost take it on the lid just to the center part, and it really brings out the green in my eyes. But I want to keep that color just on the outside so that when I'm opening and closing my eyes, you see that it's not like the gray where it's all just focused on the lid. And having the colour just almost just there. You can lay your brush on the outside of your eye, helps to lift and exaggerate your eye. Just blends so beautifully. I'm going to use the same brush with the same colour on there straight into the lighter shade. Okay, so I'm just dabbing the really strong colour into the lighter shade. So that gives me my third colour, and then I blend those edges. I mean, I just love that. I think there's something really modern and fresh and eye-catching about that look. I really like it. I mean, even more beautiful when you've got a tan. And I'll probably put a little bit of pink blush. I've got the e.l.f. Putty blush here, which is a really great colour. I'm going to have to find out which shade it is because I think it was on the box, which is really annoying that e.l.f. do that. But it's this really lovely peachy corally colour. So that works well with the eye. You don't want to have a pink cheek with this because it would look too much. So you blend this in, and because this cream is powdery, it sits really well over the bronzer because I put the bronzer on first. So it blends in beautifully together. Now you can keep this kind of quite matte and soft, very gradually kind of building. Let me just take my makeup off my little mole there. And then of course what you could do is go in with your highlighter, my Gilded Glow. This is not a promotion on the box at all. You can use whatever products you want, just tiny little bit. Well, again, you'll need a soft fluffy brush, and then you can just take that in there, just on the center here. Ooh, that's really nice. And I tell you what, this would look lovely in candlelight, a really sort of soft, perfect kind of like sundowner makeup. That's lovely. I might just go back in with a little bit, so I've removed a little bit of the corally orange, and I want to make sure we lose that at all, because that's really nice. It's funny, isn't it? You kind of get stuck in a rut with what colours you use on your eyes, and you think, gosh, the lady who asked me, how do I use that orange? I really want to. It's just so nice, especially if you're wearing colours that work with that. Like, I wouldn't wear this if I was wearing a bright pink top, or my bright pink would work, but like a pinky sort of berry colour, that would clash. But just something like that really draws people's eyes to your eyes, keeping everything else soft and simple. So I'd probably just do a little bit of something very nude on my lip. I'm just thinking whether that would work well, but I think it's going to be too much. Yeah. Very, very soft. You can see how powdery it is. So you can sort of keep building that up. But yeah, I'll tell you what would be nice. I got this here, the Lana Lips. Look at this packaging. It's really nice, isn't it? We love a bit of Lana Lips. So good. Not if you're allergic to lanolin though. So squeeze that out, and they come in different shades. And this is the bronze, which will work for both of my looks today. A comforting smell. Yeah, how nice is that? Obviously a little bit pinkier because I've mixed it in with the e.l.f., but you know, there we go. And it's also so hydrating and nurturing on the lips. They're called Bronze Gold 101 ointment. They've got the 101 for everything, elbows, knees, any kind of dry patches. But that's a nice bit of warmth. Okay, so that's my look. That's my second look. Let's go for the real bronzy look now. So I'm going to use the only kind of like soft metallic, like I said, but I'm going to go in really dark into the lid first and underneath. So let's go dark first. So we're going to go for the nice soft dark matte. I could go lighter and go in for that. And if you want to be a little bit more softer, then do use this, but I'm going to go straight in with the dark shade right into my socket. This is another one of Otis Battersby's brushes. I don't know, they don't have any names. They must come in a set, I think. I'll put the link in the description box. So this look is all about lots of definition in the socket to really throw my eye open a little bit on the outside, not too much. And then I'm going to go in with a cotton bud so I can get really, really close to my lash line. And the cotton bud stops me from having the product spreading around my complexion. And if you use a brush underneath your eyes, the cotton bud trick is so great because it can tend to flick. Your brush can tend to flick. So just keep building up, building up. Oh gosh, you can see how much that opens out my eye, right? And then we've done 3 different applications as well of colour. Because you can always have the same, if you find one style of eyeshadow that suits you, so one style of application, so you have like, you put it on your lid or you put it on your socket, once you've got that shape that works for you, then you can just interchange the colours. It doesn't have to be different like mine the whole time. I'm going to really wash that in because I want the lovely kind of golden sun colour to really work across that. So I'm going to fill in the darkness there. So it's very different to the opposite side. So I'm going to get the dark there. I do try and do this quickly for you guys. I know sometimes I watch my films back, and of course I can do it in the edit, but I try as much as I can to sort of keep it real time so that I'm not, you know, people just go swash, swash, and then, you know, funnily enough, they've got an amazing eye, but they've taken half an hour to do it. Right, so that's this eye done. I'm going to soften that gap, okay, and I'm probably going to go stronger in with the darker shade all the way along the lash line. Now, if you want to open out your eyes, you can use a nice off-white liner in your eyes there, which will really make your eyes look even bigger, or you can go like a deep, beautiful chocolate, which would look lovely. Now, let me put on the nice sunny golden shade just in that centre bit there, just to kind of create that shape, that kind of curve in the eye. See what a difference that is? Just literally blending it. So I left a little gap, not too much, because I want it to kind of blend in and become part of it. But then you just keep going with it. If you overdo it, the brushes, and then just sort of take it through the socket again, because you're just breaking up that socket shape and just making sure that you haven't got that big kind of area of skin that overhangs. And then take the cotton bud and just soften it, and you can see how that lovely gold kind of melts in. You wouldn't put any more highlighter like I did with the sort of sunset eye. This is much more smouldery. I think I will get a nice liner. Do I put liner in there? Let's put some mascara on and see what other mascaras I've been really enjoying. Go ahead. Do you know what? I came across I thought I'd lost my old Beauty Pie. It's not old, but the Beauty Pie one I had. Oh, here it is. And it's Cosmic Black, but it's the Flash False Lash. And you're gonna know why I like it, because it's tiny, tiny. And it's really, the formula is super, super thick. So great, because this is what I want for this eye, because it's gonna be a real smoky eye. And just with a couple of brushes and my trusty cotton bud, I've created 2 different eye looks. And that's what I wanted right from the palette. I wanted you to have a basic palette that had all the colours to create different warmths and feels. And you've even, oopsie daisy, and you've even got the black and the grey. There's another 4 or 5 looks in this palette that we could do, and I'll do more later on in the year maybe. It's one I have in my kit because I know that it lasts. I can get it on quickly and it just has all those shades that I need when I'm working. And it's really nice to have sort of like a bright orange and that coral to finish. Isn't it great? Oh, I'm glad we've ended up doing this. We, she says. I'm glad it's turned out like this, because this I think is a great way to help show makeup, teach makeup, in terms of how makeup can really change and enhance and reshape your features. Do you know what? I'm not going to put the eyeliner in. I was going to go in, I've just got a few little dots of mascara there just to clean that up there. So when I look back at it, I'll go, oh no, disaster. And that lip works well. It's annoying that I've put that elf on. Let me just, I want to get the true colour of the Lano lip. Bear with me. Great, I've just taken it off my lips and I'm going to put the Lano lips on. A slightly browner, slightly more bronze, so it kind of worked. Yeah, works in with that colour family so much better. So lovely this, really, really nice. If you've got dry lips, that's going to be your best friend. Okay, so there's 3 looks with 1 palette. Can't wait to see what you think. Bye for now, guys.